Did you know there is several rappers rotting away inside a jail waiting to be released? These famous rappers also have the best lawyers in the entire world, which allowed them to even get a release date like YNW Melly. Did you know Judge Fiend released Melly's ex-girlfriend Mariah Hamilton from jail, but is also letting Melly have a chance of being released? A tweet would share, Judge Fiend confirms that YNW Melly should be allowed a chance of a bond release until trial begins, stating that he's been sitting in jail for several years without a conviction. It's just not right, as Melly's ex-girlfriend Mariah would acknowledge her family and friends who supported her while she was being detained in a Facebook post on Sunday, February 9th. The post reads, "Into my village, thank you to my village. I love you all so much, God's plan, not mine," as she allegedly didn't like how this was all broadcasted on the local news.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
But did you know this worked out for YNW Melly? It would be announced Melly has to make an informed decision about who he wants his lawyers to be. He's been sitting in the jail for 2,159 days, leaving everyone, including the judge, very surprised.
No, but let me repeat myself. Mr. Demons has to make an informed decision about who he wants his lawyers to be. He's now been sitting in our jail for 2,159 days. So, how long would you like to be able to make that decision?
I can't determine when the investigation will be over. That's up to the Broward Sheriff's Office, but I can, as I said, I'm just asking for a week. And then I'm asking for at least a day or two.
Can you decide by tomorrow? I've also reserved all of tomorrow.
As the judge could not believe how long Melly's been sitting inside a jail without a conviction, he straight out told the prosecutors, "Give us a final reasoning why he shouldn't be released on a bond, or I'm letting him go." But this is where the prosecutors did the worst thing imaginable to Melly, forcing his best friend YNW Bortland to snitch against him, as the prosecutors are sending in paperwork to have Melly and Bortland tried together for one specific reason.
Issue here, and you can try them together. It is to the benefit of the state to try them together. It's just more efficient. You don't have to do things again and again. Do it all at once, and also you get a better chance of having them incriminate each other during the trial. It benefits the defense to sever it. That way they can point the finger at each other and get away with it. So this is what's going on. But I don't think it should be automatically severed because the state is seeking a penalty for Melly, because it's only the penalty phase of the trial that would be different, not the guilt phase. The guilt phase is the same. They're both capital crimes. You're seeking the penalty on one, not the other, but that goes into the second part of the trial, the penalty phase, only if Melly is found guilty.
It's pretty common sense. If YNW Bortland knows he didn't commit this serious of a crime, he won't physically be able to sit there during trial and be sentenced to life inside a prison. His own lawyers also wouldn't let him do it as well, making it very likely he will begin pointing the finger towards Melly. But what you didn't know is that Melly's lawyer already tried pointing their finger against Bortland in the original trial.
Those were his lies. Cortland Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar. You don't see him sitting there, but where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of a car with two bodies, car riddled with bullets. And when he shows up with a change of clothing, change of shirt, powder residue on his hands, evidencing that he had discharged a firearm. And he lies. He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about how it occurred. And he lies about not having a phone. I think it was Miss Bradley herself who said, everybody has a phone in his pocket, not Cortland Henry.
Revealing that it's always been YNW Bortland that has been lying to the feds. He's the one that had powder on his hands, and he was the one that was with Juvie and Sack Chaser when they passed away. They even went as far as to bringing up a forensic scientist that covered the passings to go into further detail about Bortland having the powder residue on his hands.
So the right hand of Cortland Henry contained two component particles. and the left hand contained one particle characteristic of tar residue and one two-component particle.
Okay. And can you explain to us what that means?
Basically, overall, there was tar residue present on the hands.
But this is exactly why the prosecutors want Melly and Bortland tried together. Bortland's not gonna let this happen if he's sitting there. Even when YNW Melly was granted his mistrial, a report shared, YNW Bortland tweets a mysterious message on the same day Melly's mistrial was declared. The tweet reads, "Mind games don't work on people like me," alongside a handshake emoji as if he's accepting some sort of deal. But this is only the start of Melly's issues. Did you know he needs to be released in order to make more money? It would be announced. YNW Melly's mother trends after she announces that she started a fans account while Melly stands trial, to then being featured on an interview speaking on why she did it and how much she made.
Why did you decide to break the internet the other day? You're saying that you're YNW Melly's mom and you're about to hit fans.
Why not? You make money while you sleep, and I turned 40 this year. Why not do something crazy?
Did you start it yet, though?
What? My only? Yeah.
How much you made the first day? I just need to know the first day.
The first day was pretty epic. It was pretty epic.
Give me a ballpark figure.
Like 40-ish, 50.
One day?
Day one.
This took the internet by storm. Even DJ Academics had to share.
So YNW Melly's mom has announced that she's going to be starting the OnlyFans. And I gotta be honest with y'all, man, like, this is perplexing. The reason why it's perplexing is because I can't understand why she's doing this. Your son is fighting for his life. How much, there's certain mothers in hip hop, and you probably could name a few, I won't name all of them, that I feel like their son became stars, but they also wanted to be stars as well. Blueface's mom is one of them. The situation between Melly's mom and Melly, I always thought was interesting, but I never thought she'd be doing this. If you're wondering if she's doing this for money, this can't be a money play. Like, no way, no how.
But while DJ Academics claims that it's not about money, social media would disagree. Fans would dig up an old No Jumper interview from 2 years ago with Adam, B Slime, and Melly's mom, where Adam was telling Melly's mother and brother he imagines Melly spent a lot of money on his lawyers, with her sitting back and laughing while YNW Slime would call out his brother for dumb purchases.
I would assume
but it's still,
that he spent a lot of money on lawyers. Like an amount that would probably...
That kid spent a lot of money on a lot of things that shouldn't have been spent on.
Really? Like what else?
And cars, jewelry. And he's not even out to wear the jewelry. I'm like, why are you buying jewelry and you're not here to wear the jewelry?
No, definitely lawyers are probably the best thing you can spend
That's
money
what
on.
bro. But he's good with lawyers, bro. Like, money ain't an issue for lawyers. Like, he's fine, but it's just like, there was a lot of stuff that should have went to lawyers that he didn't spend on lawyers. And I'm like, bro. And now it's like he don't even want to chain no more.
It's important to note that Jamie King has been going through a lot. While starting a fans account could have been for money, many believe she was using it as an outlet to get her mind off of Melly's trial. We all saw during the original trial Melly having to ask her if she's okay during court hours.
Sorry.
You'll just don't do it.
But what you didn't know is YNW Melly is now facing a second case. They found disturbing evidence in Melly's ex-girlfriend Mariah's iCloud account, which relates to Melly forcing her to not testify. This is known as witness tampering. This carries a life sentence in prison, regardless if Melly actually took out Sack Chaser and Juvie.
Filing 6 new charges against Demons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
This witness tampering case would be separate from his existing case of sack chaser and Juvie's passing, which means more lawyer fees, hiring new lawyers, and a lot more court sessions. However, the feds began their investigation on Mariah after people in Melly's hometown began speaking a lot about Mariah's involvement within the crime. This resulted even in Juvie's own father doing his own investigation around town, asking people from all areas. He would end up learning the code words that Melly used against Mariah to make her not testify in the original trial.
There was this kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person and then that person.
Saying like to me, they going through extreme measures, trying to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. They was using code words like Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's baby mom. And
if found guilty, Melly will be sentenced to life in prison, but due to him witness tampering on jail phones, the jails stopped him from using phones or even looking at mail for the last year and a half. It got so bad that Jamie King even did an interview exposing the county jail for not allowing Melly to use a phone or even look at his own mail.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to just to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
But if the evidence is true that Melly has been using the jail phones to commit witness tampering, that's why they haven't allowed him to use it. However, the scary part is the feds wouldn't just keep Melly off of the phone and stop him from using mail if it was just a hunch that he was witness tampering. They definitely have hard-hitting evidence against Melly, which is why Jamie King would reveal she feels absolutely heartbroken for her son. She feels helpless as he's not even being treated like a human inside a jail.
When you saw Melly's statement, just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life, as a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We've tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
But YNW Melly's lawyers would then try arguing in court his innocence while trying to get him released from jail this week. And here's how they did. They would tell the newly added Judge Fiend that in the original trial, there was never a firearm even found.
So the first thing is I didn't have a firearm, so I can't know which firearm I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this determination because I don't know what was used.
Okay.
While also sharing GPS evidence from when the crime was going down, where GPS evidence reveals he was sprinting down the street away from the crime and that he was hiding into a bush.
That would be the part where he's saying that someone just shot the car up and was trying to shoot him. So I asked him if he was okay, where he was, and he's like, there's a car coming behind him, like hiding. He was like, there's some, yeah, he's like, yeah, there's some, I think they're still out here or something. So I'm like, are you okay? He's like, I'm okay. I said, well, where are Sack and Juvie? And he said, I don't know if they're in the car. I think they're.
Do you believe that's enough evidence to have YNW Melly released from jail this week? Comment down below. However, a rapper with some of the best lawyers in the world is Lil Durk. Did you know Durk's lawyers filed for his case to be dismissed? XXL wrote, Lil Durk wants his M for Hire case thrown out. On April 18th, Lil Durk's attorneys filed a motion in U.S. District Court for the Central District of California to ask the judge to dismiss the indictment against the Chicago rapper. Born Durk Banks, Durk's legal team claims the government presented false evidence to the grand jury, including using song lyrics. The song lyrics are in the Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy track, where Durk raps, "Look on the news and see your son screaming no, no," as Quando was seen at the crime screaming no on the sidewalk.
Right now, the search is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles, and cameras captured the aftermath.
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
Durk's lawyers wrote, in arguing for Mr. Banks' detention, the government has attempted to hold Mr. Banks responsible for video clips that YouTubers and Instagram users have edited, produced, and posted to social media, but with whom Mr. Banks has no affiliation. At the initial detention hearing in this case, the defense called into question the accuracy of paragraph 6 of the superseding indictment, which references lyrics from a song by a recording artist named Babyface Ray that features Mr. Banks.
Durk's team says Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy was recorded 7 months before this actually happened. And the specific version of the song that had audio from the news clipping actually overlaid onto the song is a fan edit, not the original song that Durk recorded and released. Basically, they're saying that the key evidence used to charge Durk were lyrics written and recorded 7 months before the incident even happened, and then an internet mashup that a fan edited and posted.
As there is strong evidence supporting that Durk recorded this song before Lil Pab even passed away. The original project file was made and recorded with the recording software being able to show the date that it was recorded. But sadly, the prosecutors continue looking at YouTubers and streamers as a way to build evidence against Lil Durk. One viral clip that would show up would be from a DJ Academic stream where he would say that Durk snitched on himself by laying out all of the crimes he committed like a roadmap using his song titles and album names.
2020 Von, 2021 his brother dies. 2022 the niggas who his brother, they get clapped. The niggas who Von, at least a cousin of theirs get clapped. 2023 he drops an album, I'm almost healed. You ever think about that, chat? It's like poetic. 2020 Von dies. 2021 his brother dies. 2022 get back for both those situations. 2023 I'm almost healed. Crazy, huh?
If this wasn't bad enough, the prosecutors would then do the worst thing imaginable. It would be shared. Big U, BrickBaby, Loose Cannon, and others are all arrested in a rolling 60s gang takedown. It would then be shared. Lawyers and sources believe that BrickBaby was arrested in the latest gang takedown, will snitch on OTF rapper Lil Durk. The timings of both arrests make lawyers believe the feds will force BrickBaby to give everything up on Durk, as the feds originally targeted Lil Durk for an M for hire because of BrickBaby. Relating once again to the YouTubers and streamers giving up evidence, 3 years ago, BrickBaby was on live stream and publicly said, you can't say Durk never slid for King Von because they got Lil Pab. Once Durk was arrested, BrickBaby just so happened to be live streaming. He would then be forced to react to his old interview where he mentioned it, making it really seem like he's the one that drew the federal attention to Durk's name.
But was this an attempted hit or
Well,
was
they
it
can't say that no more.
Then they put you as
Why?
God.
Like, you died. You can't say that no more. Oh, because of FBG Cash? Oh, who?
Federal charges in California?
Nah, because Lil Pab.
So this is about the...
Oh! What's that? But I'm just saying, they just say you can't say that no more.
But did you know BrickBaby also said something even worse? Once again, in the Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy track, Lil Durk would rap the lyrics, told me they got an Addy go, got the location go. They connected it to once again BrickBaby, who said, and I quote, BrickBaby says he would have dropped Quando Rondo's location if Lil Durk had asked him because he's loyal to him.
Why is that? Then it's people like, you lined up somebody from your hood. Like, listen, I didn't. But at the end of the day, what's wrong with giving my friend the address? Oh, this is my boy. He lost his boy. Who did it could be around. 9 times out of 10, had he had asked me, I probably would have been coke if he even asked anybody, if this is even true. But 9 times out of 10, like I said, can I leak a bar?
Sure.
I said if he make the call right now, I'd up it.
Right.
With the feds now having BrickBaby in lockup and Durk's lawyers having a great defense for their client, it's likely the feds will force him to snitch on Durk in the end. But did you know Lil Durk's lawyers already had extra ways of getting their client released from jail? As it begins with news of, reports reveal OTF rapper Lil Durk was attacked in his cell block earlier this morning in the LA County Jail. Conditions of the rapper's health isn't public, however a change of jails is likely, as Durk's lawyers would use this to their advantage. footage, claiming the county jail isn't protecting Lil Durk at all. However, they're obligated to protect all of their inmates, place them into safe locations with 24/7 guards in every cell block. But what if I told you fans noticed who attacked Lil Durk? Quando Rondo and Lil Tim, on the day that Lil Durk was attacked inside a jail, both did interviews, but they were separate. But they both said the exact same message and had it released on the same day, making it look like a weird coincidence, but others believe it's a way for the feds to not target Quando and Tim for trying to get revenge against Durk. As Lil Tim said,
"No, like shit, I was just protecting my little brother."
When you did finally find out that it was King Von who did it, how'd you feel?
I was like, damn, if Brian did that stupid shit last night, he still would have been alive. That's how I was. But I was like, shit, I ain't no the type person I am. Like, I'm a humble person. I ain't no disrespect to like his mama saying f***ing shit like that, because I could easily get on that type of stuff and be clout chasing type. Like, I ain't on that type. I'm a humble person, but it's like, they ain't never popped that shit off. That would have never happened like that.
Which even led into Quando Rondo saying the same thing, saying he wishes it was handled in a different way.
Whoever on my side, they got kids and a mama that 100% love them. And at the end of the day, bro, all this bull that we talking about is stupid. That could have been handled a totally different way. It could have been handled to the point where a song and $3-4 million could have came out, or whatever, like that. It could have got handled in a legit way, in a music way.
Recording the interviews on the same day Durk was attacked, being interviewed by separate people, but having them strategically released on the same day, making it very clear they were using this as an alibi in case things got bad. But sadly, Lil Durk is already being targeted by his own gang members as well. The update reads, over 230 gigs of digital evidence, which includes audio and video recordings, as well as surveillance footage, and 20,000 pages are being processed for discovery, as an OTF member named Jam allegedly supplied all of that evidence. It reads, the feds believe Lil Durk paid to get these two people dealt with. Number 1, Stephon Mack, who got Lil Durk's brother D-Thang. Number 2, OTF Jam, whose baby mom passed after Lil Durk found out he wore a wire around him. Feds believe Jam is the key to putting Durk in jail for all 3 crimes, as it was this Instagram live where Lil Durk noticed OTF Jam was wearing a wire. Jam is seen holding the top of his jacket and whispering in it.
I ain't gonna lie, my whole dream change. I ain't gonna lie, like back in the day. Oh, my. Oh, dang. Like back in the day. Oh, look, he took out. Give me the check on your man. I heard you got his head. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, man. Hey, when I was growing up, I used to have a dare. Architect. Having a dare. Schools out of town. All that woofing on the net, it got your man Metro!
However, the passing of Stephon Mack seems a lot more clear, as when Stephon Mack passed away, Lil Durk would post on Instagram for D-Thang, aha. This was only posted 30 minutes after the crime went down, to then posting this video on his Instagram story.
You can't see other shit, boy. What? Tweak on my folks. Hey, somebody always said, slap a car. Yeah. Somebody always said, slap a car.
Allegedly, OTF Jam is giving up evidence on both of their passings. It's important to note, Lil Durk gifted $50,000 to Jam during this IG live.
You know what's name, bro? Steady crying, huh? He's steady crying. Feed him. Feed him. Get in the milk, bro. Get in the milk, so baby mama get the trigger, bro.
You see that?
Feed
for my
him.
baby. That's really how y'all hold y'all babies, ain't it? I gotta hold my money like this. This too much. Crazy though. Motherfuckers sitting up there doing all this. Sneak this and the internet games and all this. Up some money, do something. Like, we winning, bro. I can do whatever it is I want to do, I can do it. Just not what I want to do what I want. Y'all can't do that, bro. Goof
Bro got out what?
You know that
how many you did all?
How many years I did it now?
Yeah. That's your last bit. 12?
12.
That boy popped out 12 years.
Yeah.
So much money. We really was just getting
in order to just figure out the lanes, man, boy.
However, that IG Live is extremely important. As the feds were able to investigate it further, they then realized the people in the background of the video were the same that were with King Von jewelry shopping at Icebox, making it clear they were all very close friends.
Solitary stone.
We just looked at him, man.
Let's go over there.
What up, bro?
Boss, you good? My boy. Let's go.
They got real in here, man, because he just stepped in. The money man just stepped in.
But thankfully, Durk's lawyers, they don't seem phased. They would end up hinting towards his release date, which is gonna be in 2025. Before the release of his newest album, an update read, Lil Durk says it's better to be low-key with your money. If you can't afford 10 Maybachs, don't buy one.
We already came with a plan to be like feature run, album time. We're gonna do that prayer, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do everything in the way that it's gonna be big. I ain't looking at nothing small no more. I'll wear this 5 days straight, what you gonna pay? Durk broke. I sell all this shit. I have one car. It's not that I can't get it, it's I don't give a f. I'm not thinking backwards. If you can't buy 10 Maybachs, don't buy it.
This resulted in a viral comment that shared, anyone else feel like Durk's team releasing his best motivational moments, softer moments, and overall nice times is a way to package it to show the judge Durk's influence was always good? He would end up being correct. Even academics then tweeted, we're praying for Durk. By the way, he sent me word he would have album of the year. This resulted in an OTF insider saying, Durk album shortly, but something bigger is happening behind the scenes. All I could say is free Durk. This is then when it was announced. Kodak Black's attorney, Bradford Cohen, says Lil Durk has a chance to beat the King Von and Quando Rondo revenge case unless OTF testifies against him. He says, I'm hesitant to say they have a slam dunk case on Durk Banks. I think they have a long way to prove that the conspiracy against him is false.
When it comes to Durk Banks, you know, so far I've seen one text that says don't have them associate my name with any kind of flights that they're taking. Certainly that's not a good text, but is that the only text? Because that doesn't, you know, that in itself doesn't stand on its own. Certainly it's circumstantial. But like I said, we have to wait and see what other evidence they have. If they have a snitch, if they have videotapes or audio tapes of him saying something, I think that's a lot different than, hey, just make sure you don't associate my name with these guys. So I'm hesitant to say that they have, you know, a slam dunk case on Durk Banks.
That same lawyer would then investigate further. He was then able to figure out the next possible release date for Lil Durk.
So it all depends on the hunger of the U.S. attorney and the AUSA that's involved. And if they want this individual badly enough, they'll make very attractive deals for these individuals. What does a very attractive deal look like? I think they go for the lowest hanging fruit. Whoever, you know, didn't actually the guy, you know, maybe someone that was involved that didn't actually, or someone that, but it didn't hit, you know, they're going to have forensics. Yeah. So they'll take whoever is the least culpable, and I think that they'll approach him and make a deal with him that'll be the most attractive. And if that guy doesn't make a deal, they'll move on to the next guy. So usually that's what happens, right? You go for the lowest hanging fruit first, the guy that you think will flip, the guy that didn't really have that much involvement. And I think what also is interesting with the indictment is it wasn't just money. They're like, oh, it could have been money or it could have been career advancement.
However, a rapper who was recently released from jail is NBA YoungBoy, but the feds believe that he will return. NBA YoungBoy has finally spoken out about being released from jail. As YoungBoy needed to get things straight, rumors were going around that he snitched out of jail and cheated on his girlfriend, as NBA YoungBoy would start his IG Live speaking about his girlfriend's situation.
About the ones who I don't get. I done told y'all the situation. And I'm fucking know the situation. Yeah. Man, my house, my motherfucking house paid for the churn, man. Hey, I'm just out of that face. I'm out of that stage of posting it. You going in the show every time I'm with him. It don't matter. Hey, it don't matter if a house full of hoes in this. Hey, I got churn running around these. Running around. And a couple of them having that minute with me. Man, I know you can't. Hey, I know you can't play me like that, but watch what you say. That camera on, man.
where NBA YoungBoy is saying that he can't be posting every girl that he's with as he's only been released for over a week. But it's what happened next where his live chat began spamming about the snitching allegations, where NBA YoungBoy would begin speaking saying that he doesn't have to lie and that his case was never actually dropped.
I ain't got to lie, man. Wrong number, man. Other than that, man, the rest of them trying to stay in my house, man. Stop playing, man. All the police are criminals. Everybody case drop but mine. What they tell you? Them busy got some modern day shit going on, man. Them bitches ain't got no evidence on me, ain't got shit, but want to keep a pen down. And they whole mother law enforcement are criminals. I got way more shit on my mind every day than what you talking about, man. Man, give me some money.
As NBA YoungBoy would continue rambling on about it, but it's very clear that he has heard the snitching allegations. These were originally called out by a rapper on No Jumper. It would be shared. Famous Richard says NBA YoungBoy is working with the feds. From an Instagram post that reads, YoungBoy is telling, this is third time getting released from the feds within 4 years on all new charges. On King David, you can't do 10 months of a 23-month sentence. My first offer was 5 years for a firearm that the police put on me. YoungBoy is definitely police. He's also probably the reason Lil Durk is locked up, as this viral clip would then be attached of NBA YoungBoy just walking around in prison.
It is.
As someone would reply to the tweet, honestly, I kind of believe it too. The timing, the energy, the way things are all playing out, it looks a little too convenient. It wouldn't be the first time that someone played both sides in this game. You never really know who's working with who. Gotta watch everything. To understand if NBA YoungBoy truly snitched or not, it's important to just read the court files. NBA YoungBoy, when getting released from jail, would show up to the courthouse at 9 a.m. A crazy YoungBoy fan hacked into the court Zoom call and would begin yelling free YoungBoy to the judge.
Free YB, man. Free YB.
Everyone needs to stay muted. Okay.
Free YB.
All right. Mr. Golden's case is already been called. He's done with court today. For those of you interested, everyone keep yourselves muted.
Free YB. Free YB.
Free YB.
With NBA YoungBoy only standing outside of the door, he was able to hear the fan. He would walk in laughing and smiling. But as he walked into court, YoungBoy had to sign a legal document which states that he does understand English and that his education consists of only the 8th grade school level, which if you've gotten past the 8th grade, leave a like on the video. But did you know there is a chance that YoungBoy returns to jail? Just like he said in the IG Live, his case has not actually been dropped. His release description in the file read, on March 10th, 2021, YoungBoy was arrested and charged with a count of firearm possession by a convicted felon, as well as possession of an unregistered firearm, as YoungBoy was outside recording a music video with several friends, playing loud music and dancing on the hood of a car. He was doing this in a random neighborhood. A lady that lives on the street would end up calling the police as she was concerned, describing on the phone there is several men dancing around holding firearms and standing on the hood of a car. The police would end up immediately arriving to the scene. They would recognize YoungBoy and begin sprinting at him, detaining him.
So yesterday at court, the body cam footage of the officer who put the cuffs on YoungBoy back in September during that music video, the cop comes right up to him, you know, whatever, he puts the cuffs on him, and then YoungBoy's reaction is kind of hilarious. I thought it might be interesting for y'all. He was like, yo, big dog, man, what you doing, man? Why you putting these cuffs on me? That's what he was calling the cop. He was calling the cop big dog. He's like, big dog, you up right now. I didn't do nothing. You could search me. I got nothing on me. Cop doesn't listen. Cop puts him in and the whole time YoungBoy's like, yo, man, what you doing, man? Big dog, why? And it really goes to show you a lot about this case. YoungBoy didn't think he did anything wrong. He didn't think that they were going to go and start taking footage from music videos and said, you held in a music video and you're a felon and that's a federal felony and you're going to face 3 to 5 years. No, and it really shows you that these federal laws as applied to kids like NBA YoungBoy from the hood are extremely unfair and extremely punitive, and we need to take a good long look on what's going on there.
While YoungBoy was being placed in handcuffs, his cameraman attempted to delete the music video since he knew that YoungBoy couldn't be seen with a firearm. Unfortunately, the police confiscated the camera before it was deleted, resulting in the feds having video footage of YoungBoy holding firearms. In an attempt to free him from the firearm possession charge, his lawyers argued the police obtained the camera illegally, but it sadly didn't hold up in court. It would be announced YoungBoy has lost his appeal with the feds, and now the prosecutors can use footage of him holding firearms to convict him.
Update on NBA YoungBoy. He lost the appeal with the federal appeals court. He can take it up to the Supreme Court. What happened? So the federal judge, the lower court, ruled in his favor. She said that the video of him holding what looks like to be a is suppressed. Can't be used at trial against him. The way you guys obtained it, you violated his constitutional rights. Now, the government went to the Fifth Circuit United States Court of Appeals. The Fifth Circuit said, you know what? We have a different decision, and we're going to say that the government can use that evidence. It is going to be allowed in the case.
Realizing that it wasn't going in YoungBoy's favor, he knew that he had to just sign a plea deal and move on. But just before the judge officially sentenced him, it would be announced, the judge gave YoungBoy a positive message about being robbed of his talent and potential due to his addiction, and wishes him the best of luck after he's out of prison.
Mr. Golden, I've seen so many times that good men and women who have a lot of talent and potential, that they can be robbed of that potential when they start to really struggle with their addiction. So I don't want that for you. You seem like a very talented young man. I'm hoping in your future that once you're done with your federal prison time, that you can be really successful on federal probation and have a really bright future where you can reach your full potential in every aspect of your life. Best of luck to you, Mr. Golden.
Thank you.
Anything
Thank you, Your
further?
Honor. That's all I have, if I
Okay.
could be excused.
You may.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you all.
As with YoungBoy receiving 23 months behind bars for the crimes, it looked down for YoungBoy. However, his judge would announce just a few months later, I wrapped up YoungBoy's case. He got 23 months, but because of the way that we worked it out with credit in another case in Louisiana, he should be out in 3 to 4 months. As on March 3rd, Rich the Kid would end up interviewing with DJ Academics, where they both agreed YoungBoy would be released very soon.
Drake YB Durk, right now. And I ain't gonna lie to you, because I was even looking at my Spotify like recap. Yo, I think hip hop is due, like, YB has to stay out of jail. Yo, we're thirsty for his. There's a
Get out in March, right?
yeah, it's
Excited, man.
more music with him.
Wait on it. Wait on it.
As NBA YoungBoy would then be officially released only a week after the podcast was released. But sadly, he won't be free for too long. Did you know the police had a desperate attempt to keep YoungBoy in jail? They would end up bringing up the passing of JD Youngin. As both of them being Louisiana natives, they claim that JD Youngin was having a serious beef with YoungBoy leading up to his passing, where the police would then investigate it, finding out that JD Youngin started the relationship with YoungBoy, praising him in an interview.
Me and YoungBoy, soon we will be making music together. I'm a fan of YoungBoy music. Yeah, we gonna collaborate pretty soon and put on for our state, because when we do, I feel like that's just gonna be one of the hardest collaborations ever.
The two would then drop their collab song titled Up With Me, but the two eventually then had a falling out. This was a result of JD Youngin sharing a snippet of an unreleased YoungBoy song on Instagram, where NBA YoungBoy responded in the comments, "Delete this right now. I don't even know how you got my song, and I don't mess around like that," where JD Youngin would defend himself and say that he wouldn't take disrespect.
I'm a real and I stand on everything, you hear me? Ain't no gonna play with me, ain't gonna disrespect me.
Where Jay would then put lyrics in his song 38K, which is about YoungBoy, where he would rap, "You put that comment on my post and they laughed about it, but I was laughing when your baby mama was on me," where there would be then photos leaked to JD Youngin hanging out with one of YoungBoy's baby moms, but in return, YoungBoy tried to catch JD Youngin lacking in the street.
You be hiding. We real headhunters, man. Come on, man. Open their mouth, came to what they was, man. Oh.
The feds weren't able to find concrete evidence relating YoungBoy to Jada Youngin's passing, as their last hope of keeping NBA YoungBoy inside of prison was mentioning his current out-of-state case. This got so bad the FBI even got involved, to which they staked out his Louisiana mansion just a couple of years ago, to which they found YoungBoy opening up his gate and driving out. The FBI followed NBA YoungBoy getting onto the highway. This started a high-speed chase, to which the FBI told YoungBoy to pull his car over. In the beginning, he was actually complying. However, once the agent behind him pulled over and turned off his vehicle to get out, NBA YoungBoy would flick his supercar back on and begin speeding right down the highway. He ran into plenty of traffic, making him go out into the regular streets out of an exit. Once NBA YoungBoy got a gap between him and the feds, he would end up getting out of his vehicle and starting a foot chase, which wasn't a good idea for him. Considering YoungBoy was wearing designer shoes, skinny jeans, a jacket, and diamond chains, this wasn't gonna happen, as NBA YoungBoy ended up hopping a fence and then sprinting through a fan's backyard. The fan caught YoungBoy running away, grabbed his cell phone and began recording him, telling YoungBoy to run faster. But sadly, NBA YoungBoy would be swarmed by police and taken into a patrol car.
You want to talk to us? Tell us what happened, as soon as we're done with everything, we'll take off the handcuffs, okay? But
yeah, I don't have a statement. I don't want to be detained in these handcuffs like this improperly if I haven't committed a crime and done that.
Okay. All right. Give us a second, okay? Okay. No voluntary statement. Hey, he's not willing to give a statement. Any statement, any voluntary statement?
No, sir. Mr. Martinez, I don't want to give a statement. I don't want to be in this.
These were very serious charges against YoungBoy, from high-speed racing, resisting arrest, and many more. The judge out of state didn't take it easy on him, but having millions of dollars got him the best lawyer in the game, as he would then receive a bond.
For YoungBoy out of California is a $540,000 bond. He put up $500,000 in cash. In addition, he put up as collateral 2 properties worth in excess of $1.5 million, and he has to wear an ankle monitor. However, he's not going to be on house arrest. According to the bond set by the California judge, he simply has to wear the ankle monitor but is otherwise free to travel. Given that the California judge found that these circumstances are sufficient for a YoungBoy, why would a Louisiana judge find any differently? The Louisiana judge is looking at the same facts, he's looking at the same charges, and he's making a decision under the exact same federal law. Sure, it's a different court and a different circuit, and the way the laws are applied varies somewhat. It shouldn't vary a lot. If this California judge said, hey, this much money and these restrictions are good, it would be very, very weird for a Louisiana judge to say, oh no amount of money and no restrictions. That would be very uncommon.
Surprisingly, despite YoungBoy's extensive criminal history, he was actually able to attain a plea deal of just 23 months in this firearm case. But with the help of his lawyer, he's already out. But the feds, they're actively trying to place him back into prison for it, claiming that he didn't receive enough of a sentence to understand the crime that he committed. A rapper who was recently arrested for serious charges is Lil Baby. Did you know rappers reacted to Lil Baby's RICO case, sharing exclusive information? As Snoop Dogg tweeted, "First Young Thug, now Lil Baby is being played by that Atlanta DA. Y'all rappers better be careful out there," which is his reaction to the announcement of the head of Georgia's PD Council's gang unit says his office is preparing to defend against a potential 4PF RICO. When this was announced in court, an investigator in the crowd wrote, "Investigator is on the stand. We are listening to wiretap calls. Someone mentioned that Lil Baby had tickets on some people's heads."
Like, come on, bro, you know what's finna go on. Like, how the hell you can, you know what I'm saying? They ain't even like that, man. Them got tickets on a lot of these folks, I'm telling you.
We just heard somebody say these folks got tickets on these people. We know what's going on. First of all, who was that said that about the tickets?
Unc, the unidentified male that was being referred to as Unc.
And he's speaking with Mr. Sanders?
Correct.
And what, in your experience, do you know what tickets are?
A price on somebody's head.
What do you mean by what do you mean on somebody's head? What is that?
Like a bounty.
Okay. To have them arrested?
Harm.
And who were they referring to in that portion of the call?
They were saying that they had heard that Dominique Jones had tickets on a lot of people's heads.
Dominique Jones wanted to have people harmed.
Correct.
All right, moving on.
As Dominique Jones is Lil Baby's real name, academics would explain the city of Atlanta getting ready to pursue 4PF and Lil Baby on these charges, while also sharing never before heard information.
So there's this journalist, he's out of Atlanta,
well-reputed journalist. His name is George Cheedy. Like, he was the person who was very accurate on predicting that YSL was going to get indicted in the RICO. He's an Atlanta journalist, certified. He's really good. He's came out and he said that the Atlanta Public Defenders Council, like the office, they're basically their specialized unit for Georgia's Public Defender's Office. The unit that specializes on gang cases says the office is actively preparing for a racketeering indictment on the 4PF and OMF case. Now, I don't know what OMF is, and that he expects Lil Baby to be indicted.
This would end up getting the attention of Young Thug, who would react on Twitter, "She's the biggest liar in the DA office," exposing what Marissa looks like while also calling her a liar, as DJ Academics would explain further Marissa's involvement on trying to lock up Lil Baby.
So there's someone named Marissa Viverito. This person was a undercover cop. Now, what she testified to and spoke to is related to the Lil Baby 4PF. So 4PF were beefing with these guys called OMF, which is part of this like bigger like gang called like Goodfellas. And those guys, some of them got indicted federally. Remember when Lil Baby shot the music video in that hood? These guys, they shot the music video that Lil Baby was at. Allegedly, some 4PF dudes went to go to retaliate, and then they came back to spin back on Lil Baby, or not Lil Baby, let's just say 4PF. The investigator that was supposed to be undercover is someone named Marissa Viverito. She testified to a few things. Yo, these OMF dudes are beefing with 4PF. We got wiretaps, so this is how you know an indictment definitely is coming.
As the news would reveal an important update saying, in quote, Lil Baby has been taken into county jail for questioning on the passing of Jacody Davis in Lamont Freeman. Police questioned why he closed 4PF after the crime went down, as Lil Baby was asked on why he closed 4PF during an interview, and it got really weird. It would be shared. Lil Baby reveals he ended his record label 4PF to avoid it being labeled as a street team, which in my opinion just makes it look a lot more suspicious.
First 4 pockets full had to come to an end. You know what I'm saying?
When you say of course, I mean, why you say of course?
Because all shit that be going on, and I had to start learning that like other people's actions I could be held accountable for.
Right.
I ain't know all that at first. You know what I'm saying? I never would have went that route, but I ain't know. You know what I'm saying? Now that I know, I'd be a fool to just keep the same thing going. They trying to make something out of something that it ain't. Right. Like, if I got any kind of control of, hey, we're gonna switch that whole thing up. It ain't even just about the police, it's just period. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never was supposed to make my label something that I talk about.
To make it even more suspicious, other rappers in the industry did the following thing as Lil Baby. Young and Ace would end up closing his gang, ATK, to distance himself from any other crimes in Jacksonville as well.
I say no more ATK, it ain't no more. What you talking about? I always got shit to say, but don't be on shit, man. They don't get no feet wet or nothing, man. When I say no more ATK, it ain't no more.
With more and more rappers doing the same thing as Lil Baby, it just makes Lil Baby's case look a lot more suspicious. As the scary part is this viral tweet that shared, if Lil Baby does get RICO'd, his career is over. Bro's music is hanging on by a thread, as even DJ Academic said the same thing.
Man, you better listen. I don't know if Young Thug's still just on a vacation. Tell him you need him. You need him for a verse, a song. You probably need him to pop out his real loud for you because it would have made it all better. You need this, okay? Please. Yo, the crazy thing is Lil Baby confidently be previewing these. It's like, yo, they're hot. Yo, chat, I feel like the Monstars hopped out of one of them New Jersey drones and grabbed Lil Baby and shook the talent out of him. I don't know what I'm hearing thus far, chat.
But if you are a Lil Baby fan, like the video, as it's important to know the police wrote a statement saying, in quote, the Atlanta Police Department is calling out Lil Baby, saying his actions led to the passing of 2 young individuals during a press conference on Wednesday. The Atlanta PD announced 7 arrests have been made in connection to the passing of Jacody Davis and Lamont Freeman. Major Ralph stated the incidents were a part of a gang war that started started with an incident at Lil Baby's music video shoot last May, where 3 people were injured, while strongly saying, and quote, "This team will work relentlessly to hold you accountable," telling Lil Baby his days are numbered.
The investigation aspect of this, Lamont Freeman was allowed to be a 13-year-old for 27 minutes before gang violence ultimately took his life. Gang violence was orchestrated by adults in our city, and cowardly acts of an Atlanta-based rapper that decided to go over into a rival gang stronghold and shoot a music video in a place that he knew he should not have been. And in the subsequent days, we saw and ultimately the deaths of 2 children as a result of his cowardly actions. And you know who you are. And I tell you that this team will work relentlessly to hold you and the persons that you are affiliated with responsible for those actions.
As Lil Baby recorded a music video on an ops block outside of a taco shop.
Atlanta police are blaming a local rapper's music video for the deaths of 2 13-year-olds, and a $50,000 reward is being offered for more information. So far, 7 people have already been arrested.
Between the bullets, it was nothing but bullets, pop, 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 pop.
At least 25 shots fired.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was just a concert. I was waiting for Lil Baby to come buy my tacos up.
That same lady that was featured on the news clip actually told the ops that Lil Baby was there, posting on her Facebook that Lil Baby is at her taco shop 3 cars deep recording a music video.
Where y'all at? We over here kicking in. We got Lil Baby shooting a video around here. You know how we do it at Slapping Taco. Baby, there he go, there he go. Y'all see him? He came to get him some tacos, baby. Y'all better pull up. Cause you already know how we doing this Slapping Tacos, baby.
According to evidence, the police believe that the ops didn't even know Lil Baby was there filming. It was actually her Facebook video that got the attention, making them pull up with firearms and clearing the scene. But what's scary is the feds are blaming Lil Baby as 2 individuals sadly passed. This even resulted in a viral tweet. The Atlanta DA wasn't successful getting Young Thug. Watch, she will now go target Lil Baby and use him as an example for the rest of the rappers supplying their gangs with fame, money, and items for street crimes. As the Atlanta DA believes that Young Thug, Lil Baby, other rappers in the Atlanta area funnel their music money into their street teams for firearms, narcotics, anything you can think of, making them a lot stronger than their rivals. As the Atlanta DA already warned the public about Lil Baby's involvement in Atlanta crimes.
An in-depth investigation. Recent months, you've had 2 high-profile racketeering cases. There are going to be more.
Over the next 60 days, you'll see 2 more.
Which is why ever since then, the Atlanta DA has been placing a trap on Lil Baby. And let me explain. It would be announced Lil Baby was arrested Monday night for carrying a concealed firearm without a permit, and he was sent to the Clark County Detention Center, being held on a $5,000 bail.
I need 20 bands. Call the number for me. Hey, security, the black guy. Call the number for me. They're locking me up for a but I got license. Security, I give you 200 bands a year. I swear to God, security. Security, I give you 200 bands a year. You don't make 200 bands here. Hey, lady, my check leave at 9:10. Nah, check me good. I gotta my nuts. Check me good. You on the camera? I gotta my nuts. Check me good. I gotta. All right, y'all let me that car shoot myself dead. Y'all.
But it gets a lot scarier than this, as only 8 months before, academics revealed on stream that 4PF was on the same RICO document that YSL was on, and it ended up getting updated in the court system when Lil Baby was arrested in that video clip.
I've heard 2 of them. Like, I've heard the 2 of them. They're like, yo, these are going first, then these are going first. I've heard the names. And I don't know if I should say it. Again, I got nothing to do with no investigation for nothing, whatever, but these are top rappers. Well, one's a top rapper. The other one, matter of fact, I'll do the segment without saying the name. I'll just say this. I believe you know who the obvious name is. They're in Atlanta. They go by 3 letters. They've been popping. One of the top, I would say, 3 rappers in the game.
But now in present day, with the YSL trial being over, Academics was able to explain everything, as Lil Baby has been getting arrested multiple times lately as a warning.
I'm gonna tell you some things that you're gonna have to take my word or don't believe it. It's fine. I don't care either or. When Fonnie Willis started targeting YSL, Fonnie Willis had a bunch of people to target. She wanted Thug. She got YFN. So she got YSL, YFN. Eventually, they were going to get to 4PF. That's one of the reasons they changed their names, by the way. Except, from what I heard, the feds told them, it's okay. We got it. So the feds told him, like, it's okay if you dismiss the charge. So they didn't go that hard with trying to get Durk, especially after Von died. They dropped that case. They dropped it, but the feds has realized we gonna get Durk eventually. You doing the math? You see why Lil Baby was moving the way he been? Because Lil Baby hasn't been on Fed watch. He's been on county, state watch.
As did you know that Lil Baby was arrested for an illegal window tint? The official arrest footage was released online.
Huh? Man, you know why I pull you over? These windows, they tinted. You can't see nothing out.
I'm a celebrity, man. Nobody can't see me. Give me my ticket. Let me ride.
I don't know what celebrity you are.
It don't matter. They give me my ticket. Let me ride. I can't have nobody seeing me right here. I'm gonna let my window up.
Oh, yeah, you good, but you can't have that tinted window, man.
All right, they give me a ticket. Have a good day, man.
Now, who are you? You say you,
My name Lil Baby.
Okay, I just need you to sign right here, okay?
You got a pen? 827. You don't be want to have the, you gotta have tents in that level. You folk crazy. I take a ticket and somebody follow me home.
Put a 32.
Huh?
You can put a 32. If you got a medical exception, you can get the 10.
In the footage, Lil Baby only received a ticket and he was allowed to go on his way. However, while driving away, he would get pulled over by another officer on the same street. This was due to his name being flagged in the system when he was pulled over by the first officer. The second officer would end up taking him to jail for an unknown reason, and coincidentally not wearing a body cam, which every officer is supposed to be wearing. This even resulted in Lil Baby flying his lawyer out on a private jet, leading into him getting bailed out that night. But you see, this is all a setup. This is why Young Thug was allowed to get a plea deal out of prison, as right when Young Thug was released from jail, he went right after Gunna. Thug tweeted, "Wham, let's drop one on these rats," with the name Wham referring to Lil Baby. Lil Baby's been firm on dissing Gunna for snitching out of the YSL trial early, and the feds knew it. So Lil Baby responded to Thug on Instagram, "We should," just like the feds intended. The following day later, Thug would release another tweet and an Instagram video. First tweeting, "Gunna, stop acting like we're friends on the internet, I don't know you," getting the attention of Gunna and his brother. Gunna's brother would say, "Trust and believe, the feeling is mutual." But later on that night, Thug linked up with T.I., posting on Instagram where he clearly says that he is home and that he did it the right way, sneak dissing Gunna.
Hey man, what you got to tell these people?
Back. Back, Jack.
You feel me?
You did.
Hey man, ain't no cap in it.
No cap in my rap.
You feel what I'm saying?
The right way.
It's time.
The right way, bro.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right way.
Yeah, that way.
Yeah.
And go tell that.
Letting Gunna know that he did it the right way out, T.I. even took his side. But there's a serious issue with the sneak dissing that he's doing to Gunna. As pointed out by academics, the feds, they predicted all of this, which is why they even released Young Thug. An announcement wrote, "Academics speaks on Young Thug getting released, says the stipulations are a setup for the court to put him back into jail," explaining how it's a setup for Thug to eventually fail his agreement, then go to prison for 20 years. But the Atlanta DA knows that Lil Baby would take Young Thug's side, beefing with Gunna, creating a trap to get both of them at the exact same time.
I know some of his fans think he beat the case. He definitely didn't beat the case. Beat the case means you got no stipulations. The Young Thug thing is a win, but it's also a huge setup. If you gonna tell me that they gonna monitor him on a probationary basis for 15 years, can't be in Atlanta, can't communicate with co-defendants or gang members. He can't rap about, he can't promote any music that has to do with what they believe is activity. He's always gonna talk about him and his is doing his thing. They might consider that activity. He might be like, yo, me is like, yo, we going to the park getting lit. We going to the club getting lit. They might be like, oh no, you talking about the game. So, we celebrating right now because I think we could all see, if you follow that trial at all, whether you're a fan of Thug or not, you can see the pain, you can see this was going through it. Like, he gained a lot of weight. Everybody knows Thug was not that weight, so we happy he got out, but we definitely got to be very cognizant of how it's going to play out.
However, Young and Ace's legal issues is going to make it very hard to have him released from jail. Did you know the Jacksonville police just called out Young and Ace? It would be reported Jacksonville Sheriff TK Waters sends a PSA to Young and Ace and his crew after Julio Foolio's hitters were caught.
So Young and Ace has long been known in Jacksonville. We are consistently monitoring those groups. We have people that are always watching them. I won't speak to the chief's investigation. That's up to TPD. We don't have an investigation on him right now, but he can't move around in Jacksonville without us knowing about it. And that's for the betterment of our community.
As the sheriff would then go into further detail about picking up Jacksonville rapper Young and Ace.
The drill rappers.
You have drill down here.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was a Chicago thing.
No, man, it's down here too, man. And the thing about it is we like to run them out of town. Like, there's a couple of them that they know they can't live here anymore. There was a particular song, it's Vanessa Carlton. What's the name of that song? It's real catchy, everybody likes it. Yeah, 1,000 Miles. They sampled her song, and then they made a song, a rap to it, and they were talking about people that actually been in Jacksonville. About 5 or 6 of them, right? They named in that song?
They did name them, yes.
But that's what drill rap is. It's nonsense, but it's impactful because they're talking about people that have actually been, those people have parents, they have mothers, they have fathers, they have brothers and sisters that feel the effects of what's going on. They think it's a joke.
As the police have been tailing Young and Ace for quite some time in Jacksonville, as just recently the 5 people arrested for the passing of Julio Foolio would end up revealing that Young and Ace allegedly hired them as hitmen. From Alicia, Isaiah, Sean, Rashad, and Davion, the police believe that Young and Ace actually paid them money to take out Julio Foolio. This is why they have been canceling all of his concerts, trying to limit Young and Ace's business income in case he needs to get lawyers in the future.
Jacksonville police and I don't know how they be doing it, but they always call around and cancel my shows. What's up with y'all? What's going on? Why y'all want to cancel my show? I don't even live there in Jacksonville. Why y'all want to cancel my? Why y'all trying to my money? Yeah, man, y'all trying to my life. Cause y'all worry about what I got going on. I ain't with y'all. Y'all canceled all my shows, but I just had a show in Tampa. Y'all got my show canceled in Tampa. I had a show in Virginia. I called, got my show canceled up. I had a show in Gainesville. Y'all canceled my show in Gainesville before. Daytona. You feel me? Like, what's really going on?
But do you know they did it for a specific reason? It was all due to a video that was leaked online, where it would be announced Jacksonville rapper admits to targeting Julio Foolio because Young and Ace put up $10,000 on his head.
Hey, on everything I love, bro. On the day homies, bro, I put it on everything on my soul, on my kids. I'm the one that smacked Julio Foolio that night when he got at his birthday celebration, bro. You feel me? I ain't gonna show my face and give my identity away or nothing like that, but you know, I did that, you feel me? There was money on his head, you feel me? I rock with Ace and them boys, you feel me? ATK, you feel me? I be in Jacksonville heavy, you feel me? If you know, you know. But yeah, you feel me? I did that, you feel me? I handled that, cause, you know, Ace had that money on his head, you know, Ace had them put that 10K up, told me to slide, told me to cause you know he got tired of that nigga running his mouth playing all the time, you feel me? So what had to be done, you feel what I'm saying? So I just handled it, you feel me? It was what it is, bro.
This would end up going viral online, so bad that Fulio's goons would want to retaliate against Young and Ace. A tweet would read, "The streets are saying Fulio's goons finally caught Young and Ace lacking. This Jacksonville beef is just getting started." As DJ Academics already assumed all of this would happen, telling Young and Ace that he is actually next to be dealt with, whether it's by his ops or the police.
Whack 100 recently spoke about you and he says, "You're next."
Why would you say that, bro? Why would you wish that for me?
I don't know if he was wishing that. I think he's just thinking about, like, you know, in terms of, you know, people want to get the target, like the high profile target. And if Fulio is out the way, now they're like, well, the only way to make another thing is you.
Why wish that on me, bro? Man, bro, I've been living my whole life. I'm letting you get up on. I'm not letting nobody get up on me. So I don't.
With his passing now, right? Does it mean that this whole situation is over?
There's never no situation.
This has even resulted in Young and Ace wanting to get a fresh start, wanting to move out of Jacksonville and cut ties with his own gang. He would tweet, "Ain't no such thing as ATK no more, that stuff is gone and over with," as he would share an Instagram video running from the gang issue in Jacksonville.
I say no more ATK, it ain't no more. What you talking about? Niggas don't do shit. Niggas don't do shit. He tripping. Everybody always got shit to say. These niggas. When the time for the lawyers to be paid, where the niggas be at? Got all this shit to say, where the niggas be at though? Where the niggas need to get buried? When the time to spend that money, where the niggas be? Always got shit to say, but don't be on shit, man. They don't get no feet wet or nothing, man. You niggas be talking, man. What's wrong with these, man? Talking about uncomfortable, don't talk like me. Don't get the man. When I say no more ATK, ain't no more.
After posting that on Instagram, his ops would end up flooding his DMs with an old video of Young and Ace in the hospital, where he almost lost his life in an incident where he was ambushed by several men while leaving a restaurant, while telling Young and Ace to be ready for this to happen again.
I'm trying to come forward. I'm trying to hold RJ. I'm trying to hold him. I'm trying to RJ open the door. I open the door, I'm pushing him out. I'm like, I got you, bro. I got you. He got grab a shirt. I'm like, I can't move. He tell me he can't move. I jump out the car. Cope open the door. Cope said, call everyone. Just call one.
With ops wanting Young and Ace gone, and the police wanting to arrest him for several crimes in Jacksonville, what the police just announced is gonna have Young and Ace gone forever. As the official police document reads, Julio Foolio, born June 21st, 1998, was involved in an ambushing by rival street members, likely paid by ATK rapper Young and Ace, Sunday morning in Tampa. What was supposed to be a celebration weekend for his birthday ended up turning into the worst thing imaginable due to social media. Fulio and his crew rented an Airbnb for the weekend, as once arriving to the B&B, Fulio would post this Instagram story.
Hey, the pool party start today at 5, 6 o'clock. If you already got the address, pull up, man. You got the address, pull up. If you need the address, DM me right now. The pool party start at 5, 6 o'clock. DM me for the address or DM Fulio booking ESPN. I'm gonna put it right here. We just got here, bruh. You got to add it. You got to add it, man. Push up. We just got to this bit. Tampa, Florida, man. You already got to add it to the pool party. Push up at 5:30, man. Push up at 5:30, man. We finna get everything right. Push up at 5:30, 6 o'clock, man. It's up.
The party inside of the Airbnb only lasted around 2 hours. Fulio would end up sharing the inside, showing everyone that was partying, showing there was drinks involved, while also showing that he was with several women, which one of them would have ties to the goons that would pull up on him later on in the night. This was his first mistake of many, showing millions of followers, including his ops, his every single move. As an hour later, the police arrived to the B&B. Calling the landlord of the home, he would eventually kick Fulio and his crew out of the crib, as Fulio would once again go to his Instagram posting his next move. This would be a poster for a nearby club, telling millions of followers where he's about to be going, as well as showing the literal address on the club poster. Almost like he's trying to break the record on social media for the most location drops to his ops in one weekend. Once arriving to the club, he would then post to his Instagram again, sharing exactly where he is sitting inside of the club in the upstairs lounge.
We came deep for my birthday, man. Everybody coming up the stairs. No cap, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We deep as 20 deep, lit everywhere we go.
This would give the ops plenty of time to get together, figure out a plan, and scope out the scene of where Fulio is. Taking action on this day on the 23rd of the month was very important to the ops, but more on that later. As did you know, when Fulio and his crew were done in the club, they would end up gathering in the parking lot so his manager can figure out a place to stay. They would end up scoping a nearby Holiday Inn down the street, and they would all begin driving down. When arriving to the Holiday Inn, sources claim everything was silent. Fulio was sitting in the parking lot alongside 12 of his own gang members, all sitting on the hoods of their vehicles. This was, however, until rival cars filled to the brim with street members would start driving down the street. Turning into the entrance of the hotel, they would be ready with their firearms. But there would be 3 members who would end up coming out of the nearby bushes. Their main job was to locate Julio Foolio, and when they did, you can likely guess what their next job was to do. This was a clear retaliation against Fulio, especially with it being on the 23rd of the month. Fulio dropped a hit track titled When I See You. He made fun of Young and Ace for losing his brothers, as in the lyrics, Fulio rapped, went out to eat on his birthday, 4 hit 3 passed in the worst way, he kept dissing on me, and now we're hitting 23. But now in the present day, on Fulio's birthday, these goons would end up hitting a total of 4 people on the 23rd day of the month, just like Fulio dissed them about. And if that isn't enough, Young and Ace would end up rapping in a new song after Fulio's passing. He would rap the lyrics, 4 in the car, 1 them gone, 3 got hit, recreating Fulio's lyrics against him, but with different numbers. But further proving the retaliation by Young and Ace's crew was 6 hours after the incident was done, it would be shared, Young and Ace dropped a song Do It, a direct diss track at Julio Foolio after his passing earlier today. Meanwhile, Young and Ace's right-hand man would share on Instagram an old tweet from King Von, which goes and reads, "Game over, we won, stupid." But the story gets crazier from here, as the police would end up finding the actual reason Young and Ace wanted Julio Foolio gone. In the official police records, it reads that 1 month ago, before Fulio passed, Fulio did an interview speaking on the beef in Jacksonville. He would end up revealing there was supposed to be a song made with both groups to stop all the crime against each other.
No record, y'all probably didn't know this. Even though I said what I said, bro, me and J. Breeze supposed to be doing a Stop the Violence song. We probably gonna get that shit in motion. So and just get that shit out of the way for the kids, for the youth and shit. And yeah, we gotta make this look better, man.
You and J. Breezy have a Stop the Violence record coming.
Yeah, that shit, it's talked about. I DM'd about it. My big cousin wrote about it too. He said he with it, I'm with it. But basically right now we trying to find a beat.
Making many upset that the entire situation could have been avoided. However, rappers in the industry have a different take, as they believe that Young and Ace was pretending to want to stop the beef in Jacksonville so then Julio would let his guard down, which definitely seems reasonable considering Fulio and his actions on Instagram that day. This would even get the attention of Charleston White.
And everybody saying, well, man, what you think about this? Well, all I'm gonna say is, man, that works hard to die. Did he earn this here? And goddamn it, should nobody be sad? Way that lived and talked gangster, should nobody be sad what did happen to Julio Foolio? One thing we know about it, he didn't go to heaven.
That's ain't good. What's that?
Yeah, now one thing about it, he ain't in heaven. Nah, wait, that boy, he had all the time in the world to apologize to them people. He was going to the graveyard, rapping at the graveyard. Man, that was making people mama cry. It's some people relieved, wiping their forehead saying, "Ooh, Lord, thank you." And then there's some people crying, said, "Oh, we gonna miss one leg." 1 foot.
However, the following day, the actual truth would end up being revealed. This is all a result of the passing of Young and Ace's best friend, ATK Mitch. Did you know in April 2022, officers saw Julio Foolio driving a Dodge Durango with an illegal window tint? They would end up pulling Fulio over to ask questions when suddenly a prosecutor showed up. Things got very odd. The prosecutor even searched Fulio's vehicle illegally and even told the officers who he was. After hearing who Fulio was, he was then taken into the police patrol car and he was questioned on the passing of ATK Mitch.
Alright, so I ain't want to bring it up. I know you're gonna be upset. Mitch, there's some detectives I want to talk to you real quick about what happened to Mitch.
How long that's gonna take?
Not that long, depends on you. They just gonna ask what you know about what happened.
Once he was taken into the car, Fulio knew that he would be questioned, and he was quickly taken in to be interrogated.
I used to come to my mama's house. I used to stay on the corner. He would come over there, show his, you know what I'm saying, support.
What type of work do you do? What type
I'm an artist. That's
You're an artist. Okay. As far as Mitch go, what are you hearing?
Nah, really, I was in Miami when I heard the news. You know what I'm saying? I was down making music, and I saw posting on Instagram, Mitch, everybody, the whole Jacksonville, Mitch.
The detectives would start looking at who Fulio was to ATK Mitch and how they knew each other, while also asking where Fulio was when ATK Mitch sadly passed away.
All right, the reason why I'm here, I am lead on your friend's case.
Ooh.
You didn't have a friend that recently got killed?
A lot of friends that,
Recently? Mitch?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm lead on that. I don't know how close you guys were. Can you kind of give me a, just rundown on y'all relationship when y'all met? How long y'all been partners or whatever?
The detectives still had nothing on Fulio, but they had a hunch that he was involved with Mitch, so they tried fishing for any information that they could. But Fulio continued to tell the detectives he didn't know anything.
Guys, if you may know or hear something, that'd be helpful as well. Because if you know his mom, you can sit up there and call his mom, then I'm pretty sure you would want her to have some answers as well.
Oh, my little brother, I don't know who did. I don't know. I ain't here. That's what I'm saying. You will never know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. No, I just heard it. They say little brother got. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm in Miami at the time though.
You ain't tired of that, man?
Yeah. But I'm known to this.
As while Fulio was shutting down any involvement with Mitch passing, they would ask Fulio why his music was related to so much crime in Jacksonville, as the detectives were getting very frustrated that Fulio was staying quiet.
Do you think that your music or your ways or the way you conduct yourself through your music had anything to do with him?
Nah, because even before I was rapping, it was, you get what I'm saying? Like, you can't just say it's my music, that's why somebody, you get what I'm saying?
Okay, do you think it influenced someone or triggered someone, like the way y'all going back and forth with it? Do you feel that way?
Nah, a song can't make no go through nothing, bro.
A rapper facing a new court case is Kodak Black. Did you know the Kodak Black case is now set to begin? A report would read, according to the Broward County Clerk, a new status hearing in Kodak Black's felony trafficking and possession case is now set to begin for April 28th. As a lawyer inside of the courtroom wrote, chatter inside the court between prosecutors and law officials make it sound like Kodak isn't going to be given another chance. Time to face a prison sentence, but for how long? As Kodak Black is one of the most arrested rappers of all time, but strangely enough has never faced a real prison sentence. But what is scary for Kodak is he got in trouble for this exact same charge only 2 years ago. February 28th, 2023 it would be shared, Kodak Black admits to being on drank, but denies being on other items after pleading not guilty on possession and firearm charges.
I was on the and I was asleep in front of my family house, bro. That's it. I was on that drink, sleep in front of my people's house, but that ain't illegal. So all that shit is just the process that it had to be in other mud shot. The process that even though like bogus is plastered all over the internet, then on top of that it's like, bro, like I'm Haitian, and then it's just like my era. bro. Like, nah, like, man, you better off.
As shortly after this IG Live, the feds would raid Kodak's Florida home, arresting the rapper. While arrested, he hired his lawyer, Brian Cohen. He was able to secure a deal to have Kodak sent to a rehab center rather than sitting in jail for 2 years, avoiding a prison sentence again.
Kodak, whose real name is Bill Capri, faced a judge Tuesday in Orange after turning himself in following an arrest warrant issued for violation of his pretrial release. Authorities said he tested positive during a random test earlier this month.
What is the unjust and not right about this situation?
Black, addressing the judge after the pretrial release technician testified he may have mixed up the samples between Black and another patient.
There's no way you tested positive. We can resolve that by way of a hair sample, and that'll clear you.
Judge Barbara Duffy then asking for a hair sample today to clear up the alleged mix-up, which Black refused, rather choosing to check into the Legacy Rehabilitation Facility for 30 days as part of his pretrial release.
However, Kodak would just commit the same crime again this year, as the prosecutors will now paint a picture of Kodak's recent behavior to try and aim for the highest prison sentence available, as Kodak's life recently is extremely concerning. But did you know that he already claimed that he's just waiting to pass away, as he quoted this from a tweet that said, "Every time I see Kodak Black, I get so sad. That man has like 4 baby moms, and not one of you greedy women care about him for real, because why aren't y'all helping him? You're probably sitting around waiting for him to pass away," where he would then quote that on an IG Live.
Everybody getting while we waiting to other people too, right? Other people, they don't know how to let time do its thing. Hey, bro, like let time do its shit, bro. Time is the best, what you call it, whether it's gonna heal or whatever the it's gonna let, you know, let time do its shit. You gotta be patient. Love is patient, love is kind. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? It makes absolutely zero sense, no sense at all. Try to approach the situation with any type of aggression. The whole world on everybody on the amendment on everybody getting while we waiting while we just down here waiting on when we're gonna.
But this was only the beginning. More tweets would share, "Every day I see a new video clip of Kodak, strung out, not even acting like a human. Is someone gonna help him? Or even, is anyone else afraid if Kodak doesn't get help, we're gonna lose him?" As these would go viral after a new video clip of Kodak eating chicken in the middle of the road, completely strung out, would go viral.
The wrong thing. Take a seat next to him. Take a seat next to him. Enjoy that food. Enjoy that. Take a seat next to him, brother.
Oh, hold on, please. I want to be funny. Bro, I want to join this, bro. I want to be down here.
Things have even gotten so bad, Kanye West spoke out, asking for anyone's advice on how to help out Kodak.
Okay, so I thought Kodak was in Miami. I see he's in Atlanta. So I'm getting a flight down to Atlanta right now and do something. So anybody that's already down in Atlanta that knows him and knows anything about him, I know I said rappers and all that, but right now I need y'all, man, to like really go and do something. Like, we can't, I know y'all think I'm crashing out. Y'all, you see me talking, I'm expressing myself. And look, man, please don't, I know I said a lot, and just let me go down there and go help this man out.
But it's what happened later in the night that confirmed that he needs serious help. Kodak Black was seen pacing around his room, claiming that he's Drake's favorite rapper, which he definitely could be. However, his friend was sitting in the corner of the room, recording and just laughing at him, confirming that he's hanging out with the wrong crowd. His own friends would rather film him being strung out rather than helping him.
I'm Drake's favorite rapper.
Who?
I'm his favorite rapper.
You Drake's favorite rapper?
Yeah.
Nah.
He always say that, even his people always say that. They always say that. Even when he ain't, you know what I mean? Even when he ain't around, so shit like, oh, no, it's for real, bro.
If you would help Kodak like the video, however, there's an explanation on how we even got here, which is important to hear. As mentioned earlier, Kodak was sent to a rehab facility rather than serving jail time for his first case of trafficking and possession. It paused his music career for roughly an entire year. No new music, no IG lives. It stalled his career, and many forgot about Kodak Black. However, while in rehab, rehab, Kodak turned his life around, writing music, working out daily, and becoming a much better person, which is why when he was released, he dropped his hit song titled Walk. This gathered 33 million views, and it climbed him right back to the top of the chart. However, the success would get back to his head. He would be featured on a Kai Cenat live stream, being seen having extreme sweats, swatting at things that aren't even there, and screaming very loudly, scaring Kai Cenat.
You can always say it, but at times when it feel good, that's when you say it sometimes. Yeah. I thought your name was Bubba. Hey, oh.
Even the morning after the live stream, Kodak would hop on an IG Live trying to explain the situation.
Say y'all people that who be on that, y'all be on all type, y'all be on say all type of stupid. But I take you one and y'all be so hurt. Y'all wanna like it anyway. Yeah. Everybody else who be coming like on that timing, they ain't got no motion. They broke, they hurt, they something, or they trying to come into life some kind of way and trying to like look any type of yeah, I could come in that way. Oh, I think you need help. Oh, look, bro. Try to like, and then y'all don't think.
As millions were disappointed that he broke his sobriety, making himself look terrible on a live stream, as the hate would end up lingering for the next few months. This even got the attention of Boonk, who would reach out trying to help out Kodak, sounding the most sincere out of any other rapper that tried.
But right now, man, we worried about you. You don't look too healthy. And from the outside looking in, it's obvious that you're a and I don't believe for 1 second you just doing for your own enjoyment. Nah, you trying to find something to fill up that void that's within your chest. See, I've been where you at right now. But by the grace of God, I'm clean. Them strongholds have been pulled down. Them chains are broken. So I'm qualified to talk about this. You got to make a decision, bro. You got too many people looking up to you. And from one father to another, you got to set the right example for your son. This coming from somebody who genuinely cares. So if you come across this video, you want to sit at the table, break bread, man, holla at me.
However, just 1 week later, things got worse again, and it would be these interactions that the prosecutors will be showing the judge to prove to the judge Kodak needs to be sent away to help deal with his narcotic issues. A fan would interact with Kodak saying that he loves it when he is sober. This led into Kodak pulling his phone out of his pocket, hopping on IG Live, and getting very aggressive.
Say I love when Kodak's sober. I ain't sober. I look sober.
That is going for two.
I know it's sober. For what? For what? Look at all this money. Look at all this cash. Sober for what? We young sober. Young sober.
Then just 3 days later, he would show up to a Baltimore Ravens game, once again looking completely out of it near fans. A tweet would read, "NFL fans are worried for rapper Kodak Black's health as he appeared off, while showing love to star quarterback Lamar Jackson and the Ravens."
Hey Kodak, what you gotta say about the Ravens, big G? I love the Ravens. Hello. Hey, what about that boy LJ, man? What you gotta tell the flock about that boy LJ, man? Yeah! Hello. Yeah! Hey, that boy Yak in the city. Yeah, Yak in the city. I live out here. Hello. Yeah, Yak in the city. Baltimore, let them know.
This would be the final straw for many in the rap industry. Watching Kodak go down a terrible spiral, someone had to step in, which is then when it was shared. Wallow and Gilly give life advice to Kodak Black, saying don't ever doubt yourself, you got them babies counting on you.
Don't ever doubt yourself, you got them babies counting on you. There's gonna be times where you're gonna doubt yourself, you're gonna be in pain, but them babies counting on you, you gotta be here. And I'm telling you that because a lot of people get around you and they see your success and they say, oh man, a lot of people need you, and they yes man you. I ain't here to yes man you. You know me, every time we connect with you know I got love for you. Not because I need you, I got love for you because you're a young cat and I was young, Gil was young. Live. And I'm telling you that because you see that love that lady get, you see how you light up when I talk about your babies? Live. These people wanna laugh, they wanna joke, they wanna criticize. They don't know your pain, I don't know your pain. But I know one thing, them babies counting on you.
Trying to reason with Kodak on his recent struggles, as his life is a lot bigger than just him. According to Google, Kodak has 5 children, while also being the main breadwinner for his own personal family, which would then lead into Kodak's worst day of them all. He would begin his day on a live stream, jumping on his kitchen counters, not even speaking English.
Bitch got the sentence. What you want to Mac? Got some sentence. Got the sentence. Hey, bitch, boy. Got some sentence. Boy, want to raise you on your back. Your back. Yeah, stuck on the Mac. Hey, stuck on the Mac. Then a bed rest. There's a long nap. Because she took you down to it and you can't do it back. You can't help.
But this was a very important day. He was actually invited to the White House, and he became the first ever rapper to tweak at the White House.
So like imagine a world if all of us was just one color. If all of us was just blue or green. Oh, if everybody was smart, you gotta have some dumb people. Oh, what if everybody was rich? Who's gonna take the trash out?
With this going viral online, Kodak knew he had to respond. He would apologize to everyone, and he would say that he wants to use his influence for change.
I'm honestly, I'm sorry to everybody. I'm sorry to the people who I heard it. I'm sorry if you don't understand me. I'm sorry if you just don't like me. I'm sorry, and I'm sorry. And I'm sorry to everybody that I've wronged. And I'm so sorry to all the times I made my mom cry. And I'm sorry to all the girls whose heart I broke. I'm sorry to Young Miami. You know what I'm saying? For kind of disrespecting her and stuff like that. She accepted my apology.
She did? Then later on that night, he would respond to Kanye West. It would be shared, Kanye's a real one. You want to know why? Kanye's the only man who still likes Diddy. I'm pretty sure the feds are gonna seize all that boy's accounts. Kanye just did some real stuff, and you know what? I'm gonna do a collab with you so we can get some money.
Sleep when people done woke me up yeah. Kanye a real one. You know why you a real one? Cause I'm some whole Kanye the only still did it. Cause he know he ain't a lot of the other look at me. I'm clean in her Kanye
As the scariest part of everything that I just shared is that it will likely be packaged up and sent to the judge, as it's the prosecutor's job to show the judge why Kodak needs to be sent away to get help and he can't be trusted in the free world.